Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we're proud to have our flag ceremony presented by Lagrange Boy Scout Troop 200, chartered by the Lagrange Presbyterian Church, Scoutmaster Pastor Al Early. If y'all will all stand, please. Color guard, y'all can come forward.
Troop 10 hut. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, post the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Color guard, reform. About, face, forward, march. Mayor, thank you for inviting Troop 200 to be a part of the ceremony this evening. We hope you all have a great evening.
Thank you, Pastor Early. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank y'all for coming. Let's have a moment of silence, please, before we start the meeting, remembering families involved in the tragedy in Lagrange. Thank you. Call the meeting to order. Have the approval of the minutes for January 4th, 2016, please.
I move we accept the minutes for January 4th, 2016.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Gene. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, January 2016 financial report. Questions?
Mayor, I wanted to ask if it would be possible if on the, like Kentucky Utilities, LG&E, those accounts, if we could start doing maybe a line item per agency. Because I know it's been we get bills from, a list of bills from the chief. We also get one from Parks Board, so it's easy to kind of, to go down and just to compare. So I thought if we had on Kentucky Utilities, LG&E, even your Verizon phone bill, cable, if we could list those as, per agency, like community center, police, public works, administration, just so that we could, know which is which. Would that be possible? Start putting them on their own line, as opposed to just lumping it all together.
What kind of problems they gonna be, Stephanie? As long as the city clerk says it can be done, we can do it, Shannon. Just a
you.
lot of extra, you know, it'd be just as easy if you could, you know, on all these bills, I mean, if we could either email something or stop by City Hall or something, but we can do it if that's what you're,
Or what if we could
do?
maybe see copies, just copies of each agency, what
we should have
utilities?
scanned them all,
That
and I don't
might
know
be
if it's
easier.
probably easier just do it on probably the minutes, wouldn't it, Stephanie? I don't,
In my opinion, if there's a concern about the bills, it would be so much easier if you'd walk in the office and look at the bills. Because the KU bill, like for the city, is like 75 pages long. I mean, I don't have a problem breaking it out, it's just gonna take longer.
Yeah, I'm not asking to see the whole entire bill. I would just like to see how much community center Kentucky utility bill is as opposed to the administration, as opposed to the police department and public works.
Okay.
Because when I get my packet, I actually go through and look at everything, and I match the police bills, I match the community center bills, and there are things on here that I'm looking at, and it's just one big lump sum. And for me, I just think it's easier if I could actually see, you know, this much is for police department, this much is for community center, as opposed to just one lump sum.
Okay, I can do it.
I have a small question, and you don't have to break it down or anything, but the Time Warner cable, is that your computer too, Stephanie? Is that the computer in that bill? Okay, that's all I want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, just an example, Stephanie, just to kind of show you what I was, what I was talking about, where it says Raymond Johns, and there's an amount there, $533.84, and then out beside it there, on the line item, it has the administration, community center, police, public works. It has each agency. However, when I look through the community center receipts here, only 292 of that 533 is there. So it would just be, you know what I mean? So when I look through here and see that, I just wonder, okay, well, where does the remaining of that go to? Does that go to admin? Does that go to police? Does that go to public works?
Okay. Well, anything that comes from Raymond Johns is evenly split up between administration, police, public works. Yeah, administration, police, and public works, and community center.
I move to accept the January 2016 financial report.
Thank you, Bill. Second. Thank you, Ted. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Take us to Mayor's open remarks. Really don't have anything, just want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Appreciate all the hard work during the snow, and that's about all I have tonight for. Number 5, public comment. Anybody want to come forward for public comment?
Not a public speaker, so bear with me.
Give us your name and,
Name is Richard Brown. I live at 124 Homeway.
okay?
I believe I spoke to the mayor and Trey, I think. Not sure about the speed humps on Copperstone Point Community Mobile Home Park, Homeway and Park Avenue and Tendor. You all have explained there's a list, but the list doesn't seem to be moving. And if it's a matter of funding, that's why I'm presenting it to all y'all, make everybody aware of it. There's probably 300 or 400 children in maybe not even a quarter-mile area in that park. It's got to be the densest population of kids in town. I'm really concerned about somebody getting hit. The community's getting better, and more people are getting out and walking, and kids and families, and kids are playing further from their homes now. And I've been there about a year, and I've seen, it's turning into a decent place to live. But I've got a real concern for the kids. I just wanted to put that to you all so I can not worry about it anymore. Okay?
We didn't do any speed humps at all this year, and I don't know
Right.
what the budget's gonna be. They're
Well, that's why I'm.
quite
leaving it
expensive.
all.
I think, I understand they did put a stop sign up
Yeah, they
there.
did put one stop sign up.
Yeah, so, I
But
mean,
it's just not really helping. The people there's, and it's not only the ones that are doing 40, 50, and 60. There's a few of those that are flying down that road, but there's a lot of people that are doing 25, 30 miles an hour through there, and it's just too fast. These trailers are about 15 feet off the road, and some of the cars just a few feet off the road, and you all know how fast a kid can dart out. And there's just no, that's the only way I know to slow them down.
well, like I say, we've got a list. I think, Corey, can you comment on that, or
Yeah, Corey's who I spoke to.
yeah, so. About 10th down on the list.
I'm just trying to get this prioritized. These are a lot of kids involved here. I don't know who else has had us on.
I'll be honest with you, everybody wants to be prioritized,
Right,
and I agree with
I
you
know.
100%, but, everybody's pushing, everybody says.
That's right,
And I agree, it's the same story, and, when we first started those, nobody wanted them, we had more complaints than we had on anything about them. And now, once they found out, what good they do, and then now everybody wants them, so, Corey, can you give me a price? What's one speed hump if you? 1,800 to 2,500?
And we need about
Yeah.
6 of them in there, from what I can see.
Yeah, and that's that's a
Something to
lot
work
of,
towards. These are our children. So-
I know,
No,
I
can
understand,
ask
sir,
a
I understand.
question? Can I ask a question? Do we prioritize where the speed humps go in any way, or do we just put them on the list in the order in which they are requested? Because obviously, a density of population, especially of kids, might outweigh a street that only has 4 or 5 houses on it. So do they get prioritized in that way, or do we just put them on a list in order of requests received?
We have put them on the list the way we received them so far. And, I get calls, I don't care if they're first on the list or where they are. I mean, I get call after call, wanting to know when theirs is gonna be done.
I understand. I'm just wondering if it might make, I would hate for anybody to be hurt in any neighborhood, but if we've got a high density of children in an area and a low density of children in another area, it just might make more sense to look into that and bump them up with some.
If we're going to put what requested of 6, and that's probably that would take the budget. Would nobody get any? I agree,
Well,
but-
that's just me walking, I walk with a little dog
but-
out there, that's just walking through, and it looks like that's
Yeah,
about,
so-
I don't know, I was a barber, I'm not an engineer.
Well, and I'm not saying but I just was thinking maybe we could look at
We can.
how much impact it would have in one area versus another.
And I think with that many children, I've been there. I know how many children are there, and I know how they run out on the street, and I know how they
It's turning
play.
into a good place. You know, their
And,
kids are coming out now, and it's,
You are right. That is something we
just
probably
need a little
need to
help.
address.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your all's time.
We appreciate you coming forward. We'll do what we can. We'll get it, yeah.
Mayor, with the cut in the gas tax
No,
from
yeah.
the state this year, it's going to be very difficult to fulfill those needs without going into the general fund budget to do that. So I'm all for that if that's what needs to be
Okay.
done. So,
All right. Anyone else?
Well, I'm not the public. I want to wait and make sure there's somebody else that wants to say something before I say anything. I'm going to bring it up again. Did this last year at this time, only this time we're going to actually start it. That's with the chief and myself. There's several other men that are interested around the county, or around Lagrange and county, trying to get something up and going for the kids, especially for this summer. I brought it up last year, and we even at that time approved a certain amount of money, which I don't even remember what it was, but we didn't use any of it. But anybody that watches this or is out in the audience or whatever, anybody that has any ideas whatsoever that we can do, we'll have to have places to get the kids off the streets this summer and have programs and all kinds of different things that would be interesting for them, that they might have an hour or two or three or four, one evening a week, that they could go either to the community center, a church. I don't know where we're gonna be having these things. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far. Last year, we talked about the community center, but that's not always available, so we're gonna have to have other spots also. But again, anybody has any ideas whatsoever, anybody that's interested in working on that, we are gonna get this going this year. So anybody has any ideas, I appreciate it, just let me know, let Frank know. Like I said, there's some pastors that are interested. I think we'll get it up and going this year. And I want to hold us to whatever money we agreed to last year, I don't even remember. It wasn't much. That's it.
I do want to say, I know the community center does a lot for Lagrange Elementary, and they have sounds like a lot of similar programs. I was there this past week, and they were showing a movie. I know they do some good stuff. I think adding to that would be a nice thing.
Well, this will really be for older children. It'll be more like high school and middle school type children. And, yeah, we would like to show movies, have bands in there maybe. I don't know, a lot of different ideas. And you'd be good to work on.
Charles Turner's been calling me once or twice a week. He's in supposed to have a thing in social work, so, you might contact him at Kroger, get in touch with him.
Okay,
He might give you some help.
okay. I think I contacted him once.
Yeah, every time I go in Kroger, he's talking about, helping young people, and he says he has a degree or something in it and he did it in Louisville, so I just let you know, but
I haven't spoke to him yet.
okay. Anything else? Okay, Karen, LaGrange Crossroads District report.
Can I just put our flyer up here? I've given you my report, so you can look over that. What I've also included is our annual report. That's the first one that we've done. And so it just highlights some of the activities that happen throughout the year and kind of gives you an overview of the Main Street program. And a concerned citizen wanted to make sure you all got a gift to know that you all are appreciated, and we do appreciate you. So that's where your chocolates came from. I really don't have anything in particular to tell you other than what's on the report. I do want to invite you to the chocolate crawl, which is the 13th, and that is a fundraiser for Light Up Lagrange. And we have 22 locations that will have chocolate this year, so it'll be a nice day to be in LaGrange, have chocolates during the day, and then go to dinner here in town. You won't have to leave the area. It'll be a great day. Are there any questions? Okay. Thank you again. You're welcome.
Thank you, Karen. Ed, LaGrange Utility Report.
Good afternoon, everyone. As usual, pump stations, Interstate 71 Interceptor. We have made a little progress with that. Our engineer's redoing it again, and I'd like to say thanks to Shannon, because I have had a couple of calls from Senator Mitch McConnell's office that they want to track our permit this time, that we're going to refile it with the state. And they would like to know that every time it goes from District 5, if it goes on to state, they'd like to know what level it's in to keep them posted so they can track it this time to see where it's at. And when it hits federal, they want to know every step that it goes this time. So I have talked to the little lady up there 2 or 3 times. So in our policy manual, I went in and explained the new policy manual that was adopted by the city. And as of last Monday, our auditor quit. So as of today, I signed an engagement letter with our FH in Lexington to start our audit. And that's about all I have. If you have any questions or anything, they're supposed to start on our audit tomorrow. Questions? Because I know this audit has held the city up, and so as soon as he quit, I made some contacts and got 3 or 4 auditors that wanted to do it, but we did sign I done an engagement letter today with the same auditor, RFH, is with the same auditor that y'all use.
Yeah. I talked to them today, Ted. They've been in our office all day long, so.
You're supposed to be in mine tomorrow.
So, yeah. That's great.
Any questions for anyone? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ted. Next on the agenda, I have an appointment of Tom Goldsmith to the LaGrange Park Board for a 4-year term. Tom was one of our council members at one time. He has actually been involved with the park system, so we need someone, and we contacted him, and he agreed to do it, so. So if we. Yeah, Ida Beaumont resigned.
I'd like to make a motion to accept Tom Goldsmith as a park board member.
Thank you, Trey. Thank you, Debbie. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have introduction of ordinance 2016 for a first reading. Shannon, could you introduce that, please?
Sure. I'd like to introduce of ordinance 1-2016 for first reading, and ordinance modifying section 117.10 concerning sale of alcohol on election days.
Thank you. Ordinance number 1, Series 2016, City of LaGrange, Kentucky, modifying section 117.10 concerning sale of alcohol on election days. Whereas the City Council of the City of LaGrange, Kentucky has the authority pursuant to statute to enact ordinances relating to the city, and whereas it is desirable that specific terms about the sale of alcohol on election days be modified to allow the sale of alcohol on election days. Therefore, be it enacted and ordained that section 117.10 of the Code of Ordinances be modified as follows. Section 117.10, liquor, hours of sale and distribution. A, the licensee shall be permitted to sell or dispense distilled spirits, wine, and/or malt beverages by the drink Monday through Saturday between the hours of 6 a.m. and midnight. B, alcohol may be sold or dispensed on Sundays between the hours of noon and 11 p.m. C, the licensee shall provide a separate locked apartment or cupboard, making it visually inaccessible, in which all stocks of distilled spirits and wine are kept during these hours when sales are prohibited. See KRS 244.290. D, all delivery of alcoholic beverages in the city shall be made during normal business hours Monday through Saturday. E, the licensee may sell and dispense distilled spirits and wine on New Year's Eve until 2 a.m. on January 1, regardless of the day of week on which New Year's Eve occurs, provided that the appropriate licenses have been obtained from both the city and the state ABC board, including but not limited to an extended hours license. If New Year's Eve falls on a Sunday, alcoholic beverages may be sold and dispensed commencing at noon. If the New Year's Day falls on a Sunday, then distilled spirits and wine may be sold and dispensed until 2 a.m. on January 1, provided, however, that in either instance the appropriate licenses for Sunday sales and for extended hours sales has been obtained from both the city and the state ABC board. The distribution and sale by wholesale and delivery of any alcoholic beverages may occur only between the hours of 6 a.m. and 12 midnight, Monday through Saturday. No person shall distribute or sell by wholesale any such beverages at any time on Sunday. This ordinance shall become effective upon its passage and publication.
So one of the major changes for election,
We eliminated Section F that prohibited sales on election days.
we'll have the second reading on that next month at the city council. That we looked at that. The state already has allowing that, so it's, that ordinance was so outdated, and that goes back, way back in 1800s, I think, so we thought we'd just update ours. And so, takes us to number 10. Bill, would you introduce that, please, sir?
Yes, Mayor. I would like to introduce ordinance 2-2016 for first reading, an ordinance modifying 156.06K and 156.07J concerning appeals of decisions of the Historic Districts Commission.
Thank you. Ordinance number 2, Series 2016, City of Lagrange, Kentucky, modifying Section 156.06K and Section 156.07J concerning appeals of decisions of the Historic District Commission. Whereas the City Council of the City of Lagrange, Kentucky has the authority pursuant to statute to enact ordinances relating to the city, and whereas it is desirable that specific terms about the process for appealing decisions of the Historic Commission concerning applications for a certificate of appropriateness be modified to require such appeals to proceed before the Code Enforcement Board instead of the full City Council. Therefore, be it enacted and ordained that Section 156.06K and Section 156.07J of the Code of Ordinances be modified as follows. Section 156.06K, the applicant may appeal a decision on a certificate of appropriateness issued by the Historic District Commission to the Code Enforcement Board, and all the rules and procedures provided in the Code Enforcement Board ordinance shall apply, including the right to an appeal to district court. Section 156.07J, the applicant may appeal a decision on a certificate of appropriateness issued by the Historic District Commission to the Code Enforcement Board, and all the rules and procedures provided in the Code Enforcement Board ordinance shall apply, including the right to an appeal to district court. This ordinance shall become effective upon its passage and publication.
Thank you, Steve. Takes us down to 11. We got any old business? New business.
Yes, Mayor. I met with Nancy Tice at the Oldham County History Center a few days ago regarding all the campus renovation that is happening there and it started a few months ago. She wanted to ask if council could schedule a time to come in and kind of walk through to see what is going to be happening there. She is interested in seeing if there is a possibility of a gift from City Council to the History Center over the course of the next few years. And she would like the opportunity to show what conceptually they're going to be doing. I've given everybody a brochure, which is not 100% accurate. There have already been some modifications to that, but that does give you an idea of what they are planning. It's a pretty amazing, some pretty amazing changes that are going to occur there and some updates just to bring it in line with current practices as far as museums. And she would really like the opportunity to invite council in. And I was hoping to maybe get a couple of dates that I could give her as an option if everyone's interested. Does like a Thursday night,
That's what I was
that's
gonna
going to
say.
tends to be a good night for meetings. So would everybody be able to possibly attend a Thursday night? Maybe late afternoon, 5 o'clock? Is that,
Have to be after 5. I don't get off till 5, so.
okay.
The only thing I'll mention is if you want my involvement, the first and second Thursday of every month, I'm in city meetings in Kingsley and Hurstbourne Acres.
Okay. Say that again, Steve, what were those?
It's just the first and second Thursday of
Okay.
each month.
On the 25th. Would the 25th of February be a possibility for everybody?
That's Code Enforcement Board night. If there's Code Enforcement Board hearings, that's when they're scheduled. I don't know if
we
Mr.
know?
House sent it. No, he says there's none on the docket, so it looks like that's.
Why don't we then go ahead and tentatively do that, and then if we have to change it, we will. So I will reach out to her just to confirm that that works for her, and I'll send everybody an email.
Yes.
But we'll say 5:30, does that work? 5:30?
Be late getting there, but yeah,
Oh, so,
depends on traffic.
and that's Wednesday, or Thursday, February 25th. Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
5:30 is the time, 5:30? Okay.
The ordinance board, there was some talk about public parking on city right-of-ways. I don't know if we want to get into that. My thought was that we could. It's very complicated. If Mayor, do you think we need to take that to the ordinance board this month?
I think it'll be, yes, we do have some problems. So Corey went out today and took quite a few photos, and he brought them in and showed them to me, and he's been out looking around the city, and it's a problem. I can tell you
Okay.
that for a fact, so.
All right,
Yes,
well,
I think it needs to
we'll-
be looked at.
When would everybody like to meet?
How does the 16th of February look?
I got Arts Association meeting.
Okay. The 18th?
I'm good.
What time and where?
City Hall, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Ian, you okay with that?
Yeah, that should be
18?
That's
Shane?
fine.
Okay. Corey, there was something else on your mind, too, that you tried to talk to me about, and I don't remember what it was now. About what? Encroachment, about the, okay, yeah, we'll look at that too. So we'll actually have two things to look at. The encroachment permit is, yeah.
Say it again?
It's 6 o'clock, Bill. Yeah, 91.70. 6.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. That's all I have this evening.
Got two quick things, Mayor, real quick. I gave everybody our year-end annual report. Just digest it, and I'll go over it next month. Y'all can, I'll come up during public comment or something, if y'all have any questions. Other thing is, the officer, the new recruit we are hiring from, it was budgeted this year, starting next Monday. I know I sent out emails. I hope everybody got it. If you didn't, I know I forgot to put your new email in until later last week, but okay. So if you have any questions, give me a call, but we can go over the annual report next month. That way you'll have a full month to look at it. Okay? Thank you.
Anyone else?
Can I say something, new business? Are we on new business or still on old business? Can I say something? Okay. I didn't know if I know that where the lady lost her life this week is a state highway, but it's in Lagrange. Is there anything that we can do there? Anything at all? Can we work with the state? That is a really bad, I was there this past week too, trying to cross, and it was very dangerous. I don't know if there's anything in our power that we can possibly do, but if there is, can we do it?
I will just make one comment about that, and Corey, correct me if I think I'm right on this, because didn't you ask to stripe, we asked the state if we could stripe across Highway, or First Street we call it, between the courthouse and Dizzy Dave's, just like we striped across Main Street, and the same stripes that we have down City Place. I'm sure you're familiar with the white stripes. And when we were doing that, we contacted the state and asked them if they would allow us to go across First Street, like I say again, between the courthouse walk and the in front of Dizzy Dave's, and they said no, flat no. So that's how we work with the state. We can try, we can do what we can, but
Who should I contact? I'd like to contact somebody. All right. I'm going to contact her. I don't want to see that ever happen again.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know if there could be, because I mean, you're referring to putting in a crosswalk in a location where there currently isn't one, but I agree, it almost, I mean, I walk
what do
downtown
you
a lot.
mean where there isn't one?
Well, I was thinking, you were talking about across kind of in between the two corners is what you're referring to, where they said
Well,
no.
everybody walks across there's a lot of traffic that walks across from the courthouse over across to Dizzy Dave's.
I understand,
That cross,
right,
yeah.
right, I understand. But and there's not an existing crosswalk there where you're talking about.
No, there's not.
Right.
But
And
it's
I
just
guess what I'm.
that intersection is just as dangerous as any of them. I don't see it in any one intersection as dangerous than any other one. I don't know, Chief, you can comment on that if you want, but from what I see, your guys are out more than,
Both of those intersections are supposed to have crosswalks. They're just faded. And I think what Corey was wanting to do was to stripe it so it was more visible. Is that right? Right. And and that's going to, the state, I don't know how that works with them. I don't know what the priority is. I don't know, I don't know. I mean, I've had 24 people or more call me since this happened, want to know why they're in a red light, green light, or actually traffic light there. My best answer to them was, it's beyond my pay grade, and what I was told was the CSX wouldn't allow it. That was years ago because they said it would interfere with the train if you had actual red lights.
So we've actually requested to stripe the
They was gonna stripe-
existing
what
crosswalks.
It's Second and Washington, where the city place is, they striped that with that the plastic, thermoplastic. And he asked the state if he could do First and Main, basically, right there, because that's during Oldham County Day. That's where everybody crosses.
Okay.
Like Lagrange, same way, everybody crosses right there by Dizzy Dave's, and they told him no. I mean, technically there is, if you look, there are crosswalks there, just faded, probably, I can't tell you, the last probably 10 years, they were, since the state did it, though.
Okay.
I would bet, you know, that's probably been that long, so that's the issue with that. The state's not gonna let you do it because they won't, you know, they wanna do it themselves, whatever reason, make sure it's done right, or they'll be liable, or whatever, I don't know. Answered for whether to keep that from happening again, yeah, that's something for traffic engineers and, you know.
Or even,
Allison,
I mean, don't they sometimes have flashing, like, yellow caution lights at crosswalks?
that's
That are a
what
lot
I had,
more
that's
visible.
what I
We
had tried
don't
to
even have one of
get.
them at Lagrange Elementary. You know, we requested, actually, the police requested one of them
And
10
they
years
won't-
ago from Lagrange Elementary, or for Lagrange Elementary there, where the kids cross. And we didn't get one.
That's what I had
1,000 different
requested for the
reasons why we
community
didn't get it.
center as well.
Right.
And
Mr. Lee,
Allison
you probably
Toon is
need
who
a
I was talking to.
stoplight, right?
Yeah, I know we broached that 15 years ago, and the CSX said no, because it would interfere with the train. Now, I don't know, I've seen other red lights that are near and around railroad crossings, I don't know why it would be any different than that, but, you know, that would be, like I said, back to traffic engineering, and CSX would have to,
Right,
you know, and then again, you know how hard it is to get a traffic light, you know,
right.
so.
The last message, the last message I received from Allison Toon, she actually stated that her office has been working on pedestrian safety within the area of the community center and intersection KY 146 and KY 53. So this was December 9th.
Hasn't there been more than one accident there?
There's accidents in that area all the time, but as far as pedestrian struck, I can only think of 2 besides this one in the last 5 or 6 years. I know there's probably been a lot of close calls, but actually pedestrians hit, I can only think of 2. One recently where someone was hit that works at the license where you get your tags. But in, probably 5 years ago, I personally worked one where a lady was hit stepping off the curb by a school bus, the mirror clipped her. And other than that, I can't think of seeing any other reports, people getting hit in that intersection. We've had car wrecks and everything, but you're gonna have them anywhere. But as far as whether we should get a light or blinking yellow lights, that's all gonna fall back on the state and what their traffic engineers say. Because they're going there, they're gonna look at traffic accidents versus need, and, you know, same, just like y'all were talking about the speed humps, they're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna prioritize, you know, of course, and it means a lot to us, but you get a guy that lives in Franklin County that's making the decisions, it didn't, you know, so.
And their reason, when she got back to me, she said, the reasoning we do not typically install crosswalks at uncontrolled locations is due to heightened risk to pedestrians caused by the false sense of security a marked crosswalk gives to pedestrians. That was what I got.
Okay. Anything else? But that, you're probably right, she's with the State Highway Traffic Safety or Department of Transportation. That's who you have to go through. It's,
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I move we adjourn.
Thank you, Bill. All in favor? Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank y'all, appreciate it.
We got in here. Tape shut.